So talking about these tools and this way how you're involving this, how you're using or how you are involving AI, or how is the workflow during this production?
So it's a very beautiful, heartfelt story. And our fear right away was we don't want AI to get involved in a way that would diminish the very sacred things that are being shown and experienced through this journey for this girl. So number one, we immediately said, okay, fine. It's very clear that we're working with actors because there are children involved. There's culture involved. At first, we had a different ambition. We imagined that we may be able to tap into volumetric capture. We thought, okay, fine, let's see if AI can allow us to carry this production into a whole different space. Let's see if we can actually capture 3D Gaussian splats over time, across time, which is basically 4D GS, but sparse volumes, and then take those performances, which are sparse volumes, into Unreal Engine or into Blender and set them into these 3D worlds, and then take a virtual camera and with the DP being able to capture the cinema language. Where we fell short was in underestimating the amount of computing required to truly generate volumetric content across multiple takes that have to be finally assembled into an 8-minute film. And also the amount of cameras you would require, the amount of lighting you would require. And so we ran some early tests to immediately come to a conclusion that it may be a little far-fetched for our current project. So then we just said, what's the second best way to do this? So we worked with you, Andrea, and your wonderful team from Mexico City, and we were able to capture Felipe's imagination that was visualized in those concept art images into a 3D space. I think it drives the imagination of the director, it drives the director of photography to start imagining shots, lighting, time of day. All of these things become so much more visceral. And so I think that step to have those worlds created in Blender was a huge revelation, as something that I don't know, coming from virtual production as well, to have this use case for it in this pipeline, for a hybrid AI pipeline, was a revelation. Then the idea was to shoot at a green screen stage. Here we went to scissor films and we were able to shoot over there. We ran a number of tests. We took the 3D Blender worlds and we were able to align them with the green screen stage. And we used a tool called Jet Set on the iPhone. And our DP and director were now able to take this iPhone and start staging and blocking their scenes. And put the actors in there, put some production design elements and art direction elements in there, and capture the scene. So we had two iPhones working in parallel, one giving us just the green screen footage with the actors, which was shooting off of the Blackmagic app, and the Jet Set app giving us both the privilege of having simulcam and then having footage as reference of the blended footage. And our editor is editing them on 2 tracks. The top track is the green screen footage, the bottom track is the Jet Set footage. So that was our journey really over here, working with a director of photography like Robert Schaefer, who's worked on Finding Neverland and so many other wonderful projects. He's from a different generation who's gone through all of these adoptions in our industry. And for him to work on an AI film was I felt like we were being part of history in a way. The other challenge was to discuss the definition of new roles coming into play and the vocabulary around it. So we're working with movie labs on the ontology and the taxonomy and how that integrates into the pipeline, how we start to call things a specific way that can be adopted across the industry. So those are things also that came up as challenges that we're addressing